Hi folks, and welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4. We're going to do something quite different today, something, in fact, I have never done despite my nearly 1,000 hours or so playing this game. Today we're going to play without any DLC or expansions whatsoever. I have turned them all off, so we are playing just the stock game. There is nothing extra added on. Two reasons for this. One, and we're going to be playing as Germany, by the way, on historical. I would like to see how the game stock holds up in 2024. I want to see if it's actually more fun and without playing any of the expansions. We're going to see what the differences are. So there's going to be some that surprise me because I've never played it completely stock like this ever. And we're also going to play it from a beginner's point of view as well. So I'm going to try and explain a few things. If you've just bought the game or you're new to it, you've probably just got the stock version. You might be wondering what DLC, if any, are worth playing. So let's see how it would play to a brand new player. So I'm selecting Germany. I'm putting historical mode on, which means that all the other countries in the world will follow their historical focuses, and you will end up playing World War II rather than some completely random events of all sorts of weird stuff that's kicked in. If you want to play an Iron Man mode, that's fine. You'll get some achievements. If you're new to the game, I would recommend not, because without it, you can save the game and go back to a previous save if you make a mistake. For a new player, that's probably really worthwhile. I turn it off for this because I've done the achievements already that I want. And also, if something goes wrong with my recording, this allows me to go back to where the game was saved and we can play. So, here we are playing as Germany in 1936. You want to start in 1936? Gives you time to build up your economy, make some decisions, rather than jumping straight in 1940 and straight into the war. I like to do it like this. So, we're going to set everything up right from the start of the game. We can take a look at... see, this is different. I'm sure there's a portrait for this guy, or I've downloaded a portraits pack. Anyway, it's not showing in this. First difference, this looks a little bit different as well. If we go into the national focus tree, I don't know if Germany is, but anyway, we're going to pick... We don't want to go down this side, because this is opposing the mustache man. And I don't know if we can even say his name on YouTube videos anymore. It's never bothered me before, but we'll see if it makes a difference. We're going to go and reoccupy the Rhineland, which gives us political power and army experience. And it upsets most of the world, but we're going to do that anyway. Shall I do that first? We don't need to do it first, but I'm going to do it first. And there's lots of good things in there, which we're going to pick as we go along. So I'm going to work way through these at the top. Research slots. Very good, pretty much my typical opening maneuvers to start with. Go into the industry tab, and we've got basic machine tools. This will give us production efficiency cap. It basically makes your factories produce more stuff, which is great. And construction speed. We're going to be making things a lot at the start of the game. Other factories and infrastructure, so that's great. We also want this one up here. This is going to increase our research speed. And then, as we've got 4 slots, which is excellent to start the game with. Some countries don't. Let's see what else we can get. We could go and pick up some early infantry equipment. There's nothing wrong with that as well. So Germany is going to have a slightly weaker army to start with at the beginning of the game than some places. But it's going to be a good army. It's going to be one we can build up super fast. Right then, free civilian factories. What would we like to build? So at the start of the game, there are construction penalties for depending on what type of economy you've got. We've got partial mobilization, so it's maybe not too bad. All right, we get a bonus to military construction factory speed, so that's not too bad at all. So we can either go for some militaries, which will give us more stuff to produce guns and tanks and things like that. We'll throw a few of those in. We've got some good civilian factories. We'll also throw a couple of those in as well, because why not? And how are we off for infrastructure around here? I believe it's better to build the factories in the better developed zones for infrastructure, but anyway, it doesn't make... I don't think it makes a huge difference because we're going to develop them anyway when we get there. So we'll set those off building. Military factories. What we're going to do is we're going to go down. We've got a lot of submarines being built down here. Have we got spare dockyards? Okay, let's fill these up so that they get built faster. We'll get a load of subs, which will be very useful. I don't know if we need the battleships. I guess we'll set them off. They're going to come in very late in the game anyway. Do you know what? I don't think we need the battleships. I'm going to cancel those. They're going to be very late game things. And for my strategy with Germany, I don't think they're really necessary. Destroyers and submarines and convoys. Let's make sure we've got some convoys. We will need those. We don't have a whole lot of anything at the moment. Okay, so when everything else gets built, let's put them in second. We'll get some convoys turned out. That'll be cool. Excellent. Military factories, most important thing, I think, are going to be at the start of the game. Probably rifles, maybe artillery. Yeah, probably artillery and rifles. Infantry equipment, as it's also known. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong one. Actually, we want that one. There we go. We'll get those turfed out. We're building some more, which is going to be great. We're not training anything. Let's take a look at our divisions. We might have a limit on what we can actually train at the start of the game. So let's see what we've got. Basic infantry templates. I'll tell you how to modify those a little bit later once we've built up some army experience. And let's just put some of those in. I think it'd be a good idea just to have. We probably don't have the equipment for this. I'll do that for now, just to get something in training. That's fine. And then we have a load of unassigned divisions everywhere. If I hold down shift and click that, we can select the whole lot, put them in one massive army like this. And let's get the panzer divisions into their own force. If you double click, it selects everything of the same type within that army. Most of you guys watching this already know all this stuff, so this is just the benefit for anyone new to the game. A lot of people do say that this game is very hard to pick up as a new player, and I remember I had to spend a lot of time learning it myself when I came to it. We've got one division of mountaineers. We've got some motorized troops, which I'll put into the Panzer army. And we've got some cavalry. The Germans did actually rely a lot on horsepower. And I think all those are the same template of infantry. Indeed they are. So, where are we going to put them? As you can see, it's probably a good idea to talk about our plans. So we are going to go ahead with World War II. We're going to play historically in this. We're going to invade Poland when we can. We're going to try and grab Czechoslovakia peacefully. We're going to try and occupy Austria peacefully as well, if we can. And then the first big fight is probably going to be against Poland. So we need to hold this line up here and then go rolling across the open plain and knock out Poland as fast as possible, which also means we're going to have to defend against the French. So if we take a look here, we don't have any forts in this region. That might be something that would be worth building up. We'll worry about that when it comes. So let's get this going. We'll go at 3 times speed just till we figure out what we're doing. We have one infantry army. Who should we put in charge of that? We're looking for someone with some infantry skills. This guy's got some. Erwin von Witzelben. Never heard of him. Let's put him in there. And the army is fully trained, so we don't even need to train it at the moment, which is great. And the Panzer army, I think Rommel's the guy for that. We'll probably promote him to Field Marshal later. In fact, he comes with a perk to start with. We'll click on those later when we've got some points to spend. And the Mountaineers, I mean, they are useful in places, in mountainous regions. I don't know. I'm not really planning on fighting anywhere too mountainous. I might just disband them. I don't actually think we need them. We'll get their equipment back and we'll put that into infantry development, I think. So we've got stuff researching. Let's kick this off. So the plan is, obviously, we'll go to war with Britain and France. We'll need to hopefully pick up Italy as an ally. I don't know how Italy are going to respond in this. I've never played the game stock. I think when I've played Italy, it's been with their expansion, which gives them a whole new focus tree. So this is going to be an interesting experience. But the plan to defeat Britain is simply going to be to build up a massive force of submarines, cut them off from trade with the rest of the world, which might also sink their troop transports as well, until we can invade them. Of course, I'm talking as if we've already knocked France out of the war, which hopefully is going to be part of the plan. So, let's have a look. We have... The Rhineland has been demilitarized since the end of the Great War, but this insult shall no longer stand. Germany, as a sovereign nation, is free to move troops anywhere within her borders. So this might instantly trigger a declaration of war with France. I don't think it will, though. That might be very famous last words. So, the next step, to get the Anschluss, we need 500,000 men in the field. That's why we need to train the infantry up as fast as possible. Let's see, the 4-year plan, that's going to give us some really good industry stuff, which will be useful. I think we might go for army innovations. We're going to pick this up now. This would be good, because I want to get the treaty with the USSR, which helps us develop tanks faster. Although industry might be slightly more useful at this stage. We'll go the industry route. but we're not going to be far behind. So excellent. I can put an army on this border now. So we're going to take this guy, and you know what? We're just going to put the force on the French border just like that. And that does take everything out of Poland as well, but we're not going to need them there for the time being. So we can see we've got some. Oh, we've got loads of political power. Cool. Is there anything in the options worth taking? No, we don't want to touch the MIFO bills. I'll tell you why later on. The MIFO bills. This is basically a buff and debuff. It affects Germany. These are cancelled if you're at war anyway. So they're actually, I believe they're quite good because they have some nice facilities for us. So we'll just leave them alone. I think the first time I played as Germany, I cancelled them not understanding what they are. It's probably best to leave it because we're going to be going to war. Everyone is trained. I don't need to do anything with this. This is awesome. Rommel can have the trickster. He's got the trickster trait, and he can have the guerrilla fighter for entrenchment speed. I think I will not. I don't really want to spend that on him. I don't fancy these guys entrenching anyway. He's going to be my lightning attacker. So let's move on. Oh, I can actually modify the government. So having a look in here, political advisors, if there's anything good. Now these will give us general buffs. We've got a war industrialist. Now that would be quite useful at this stage. The first among equals, Rudolf Hess. That gives us, oh, for fighters, a lot of political power, but we're not making heavy fighters, not to start with. Goebbels gives us war support, which would be useful. Oh, and fascism support to get rid of these nasty things. We don't want anything but fascism here. A Prince of Terror gives us extra manpower from non-core nations, i.e. stuff that we've conquered. There's a lot of good stuff actually in here. Compared to some of the nations, this is actually pretty nice. So I think we're going to jump off with Goebbels actually. A nasty piece of work, definitely, but it'll help our government. What would I like to build? I want to get the Air Force going, so let's throw in a couple more factories for this. We are going to find ourselves short of rubber and fuel, because when we do go to war, no one's going to want to trade with us. So we are going to try and develop our own synthetic oil industry, as Germany did in the war as well. So this is cool. This is cool. So let's slow this game down. Spain started a civil war. Now there's two things we can do here, but with no DLC, we're gonna well, there's three things we can do. We can just ignore it. We can support one side. Can we? Send volunteers. We can't send volunteers. I don't have enough divisions in the field because I disbanded the Mountaineers. Let me go and see if I can deploy one of these straight away. Right, if I deploy this guy straight away. Now can I? Now I can send the volunteers. Okay, so I can support the Republicans or I can support the fascists. Germany historically obviously supported Franco and the fascists, so that's what we're going to do. There is an event that triggers if you support the other lot where you get to look after their gold reserves. When I say look after, I mean steal. I don't know if that'll trigger because I don't have the Spain expansion, so we're not going to worry about that. We're going to send volunteers. We're going to click on to send air volunteers, and we can send a maximum of 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find Rommel. We're going to send the tanks because they're going to be the most interesting, and these guys will put in another army. And we're sending Rommel because I want to get him the experience. This is going to be the most useful thing we can do. So, send volunteers, send air volunteers, and choose Rommel, and send. Is that accepted? It is. And we've got these guys up here, who desperately need to train up because they've done absolutely nothing. We deploy them when they're a bit green, which you can do. Nationally, Spain will allow a volunteer force from our country. So they're on the way. Can we also send... Oh, we can't create an air wing. It looks like we can send a maximum of 2 wings. This is something we should do, actually. Let's find our aircraft. Now, at the start of the game, our aircraft are all over Germany. And they're probably not very well optimized. So I select them all. And I just delete them all. This does not get rid of your aircraft. Don't worry. They all go into the reserve. As long as you disband aircraft and ships when they're in your home country, there's no problem with that, and you get the manpower back as well. That will allow us then to go and create some wings. So We've got some old fighters, so I'm going to do 2 wings of fighters. And then, actually, I don't want fighters at all. I want ground support stuff. Anything that can do ground support, that's kind of what we want right now. We've got some awful interwar bombers. They will be useful, though, so I'm going to put them in there. And I'm going to put those chaps on training. And then we're going to send them over to support our tanks when they get there. And that's going to start using fuel. And we've just researched the first step in this to get our research speed up. We're going to pick up radio, because that's a big help. It helps our reinforce rate in battles. Nice. Right then, so we've got involved in a fight straight away. So why would you even want to get involved in the Spanish Civil War? Well, not all countries can. Fascist ones and communist ones can. I don't think the democratic ones can. There's various options that France can do, but it's hard to trigger, or harder to trigger, I should say. So we can get involved straight away. And the reason we want to do that is that it can build us up loads of army experience, which is going to be great, as did historically happen for Germany as well. They sent, I think, was it the Condor Legion, which was some of their air force? Am I right on that? Let me know, folks. Let me know. My memory might be a bit hazy on those details. It's a long time since I've read about that bit of history. And I don't know, did they have ground troops involved as well? I can't remember. They definitely sent aircraft. They had quite an experienced Luftwaffe by the time they actually started fighting Britain and France properly. Right, cool. So, spacebar to pause. Let's go and find our tanks. You can see that our friends here are already kicking off. What we want to do is put these in a place where we can then push through, and we want to try and surround the enemy. The idea in fighting is to try and cut the enemy off from their supply. Once they're cut off from supply, they're in big trouble. Ports, regions of supply, and then you can surround them and destroy them more easily. So we're going to move, I don't know, I'm going to railroad these guys into here, and we're going to go and see what's happening. Can I move some air wings over? Quick deploy. Can I put any over? We've got close air. We haven't got any close air support. I can do 2 of these. Right, what does that actually do? Can I do it from there? I've never done it from this. This is something new. This isn't due to a lack of DLC, though, I should say. This is something that they changed in the base game. Well, we do have those. Can I not bring these over? It says I can put 2 air wings in here, but I'm not convinced it's going to let me. Oh, it is? It is? Excellent. Right, we shall do that then. And then we will get them supporting the battle once they arrive. So our tanks have moved into position. You can see the green bar's gone down. That's their cohesion because we railroaded them in. They need a bit of time to reform and recover. And we're going to try and push them in. I might try and push them in against this guy. Right, excellent. Put you on close air support. And I'm going to right-click on the army. So they always support whatever the... Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put them over here. Because then they will fight at any opportunity, not just when my guys are attacking. But they will be involved in this, so that this is okay. If we click on that, we can see we've got air support, and they haven't, which is excellent. Excellent. So things are off to a good start. Very, very good. Let's just make sure we're moving away. I like to play on 3 times speed when we're seeing fights like this. It just... it means we can see what's going on. If there's nothing else happening, we can bump this up to 4 times, though. If you're fighting and controlling a big front, I always like to have it at about 3 times. You can see what's going on. Excellent. So we've managed to make a separation. We've got... we kind of need to... Do you know what? We don't need to do that at all. I'm going straight into the port because they're in no state to defend. When you've got fast-moving troops that can attack like this, this is excellent. Now, our Spanish allies should be following us around to form the front line. But we hold the port. Actually, we can... If I hold down Alt and right-click... Or Control and right-click, is it? No, it's not. Let's try that again. They're not getting involved there. I'm going to send 1 in. Okay, we've got all sorts cut off here, which is perfect. We're just going to surround everything and cut them off. Brilliant! So that's a great start to our campaign. We've also completed the 4-year plan, which is going to help our industry. It gives us some construction speed bonuses. The west wall, we don't need to worry about. That's a load of... Well, actually, 12 land forts on the French border. That's not a bad thing. And it increases fort construction speed. We are going to upset them, definitely. This one gives us construction speed bonuses, which is actually... That's also very useful. And that gives us railway and construction speed bonuses. I kind of want all of these. That's the problem. I kind of want them all. Do we want to befriend Japan straight away? I don't think we need to do that right away. So I think we can hold off on that. I think a trade agreement with Germany, with Sweden might be quite good. And we've got naval rearmament, which is going to be useful. And we do want dockyards, but again, we can hold off. So we won't be able to do the Anschluss yet. We need to get more troops in the field. So for that... Erwin Rommel gets armoured division attack. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to pick this. Because Erwin Rommel is fighting with armoured divisions right now. So let's go with that. That's a nice, useful one. What I would recommend if you're looking through the focus tree is scan down, have a read of anything. If there's anything that you look at and you think, wow, that sounds exactly what I want, then yeah, just make a beeline for it. Plan it out, and you can have a think about where you want to go with stuff. So we've actually finished the war over this side. There's no real fighting going on. I'm going to move them over to here, which is a bit of a long-range move for them from their base. We'd be better off with a base nearby. We're going to see if we can capture this one then. What have we got? We've just researched a load of stuff. So we're in 1936. Do we have any? We have bonuses for industry, which is excellent. We're going to go for... Now, there's concentrated industry or there's dispersed infantry. We might get bombed by the Allies. If I do my job properly, we won't. But we might. So if you think you're going to get bombed, then go for dispersed. Otherwise, go for this one. Do you know what? I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to pick this one. And we've got another one to go at as well. We'll go all in industry. I do want these as well, mind. Oil processing. We can build... synthetic refineries already, which is excellent. Ooh, yeah, I think actually I'm going to go for this. Because oil is going to be a thing, and I don't want to trade any away of my civilian factories for it. So this is good. This is good. Let's start getting this going on. We'll do a little bit around here. I'm going to go for 4 to start with, just to keep us topped up. And we've got a load of new divisions, which I'm going to put into... a brand new army over there, and these guys we're actually going to deploy to Poland as well. So let's find another infantry commander. It doesn't have to be an infantry commander. It's useful if you do have one. I mean, von Lieb here is quite good. He's an infantry commander. We'll put him in there, and we'll just assign a front line like that. It puts it in automatically. The guys will find their way there, and I'm going to set them off training when they get there as well. So I don't think actually. I can see him down there. Let's put him in a field marshal group. Because I think this will get our field marshal some experience as well, will it? We may as well. We'll put him in... I'm going to go for von Kluge just because he has supply consumption bonuses, which are a bit better. Oh, he's also a panzer leader, so that's quite useful. That ties in quite well. You want to be... let's go for... Well, reinforce rate's good. I'm going to go for recovery first for what we're doing. We'll try and pick that one up later. Excellent. So they're doing great. Our guys are training. We're getting some experience slowly. And we've got points to go and spend on some more like this. So we've got loads of options. We could put a chief of the army in, which would give us an army offense expert, which gives us daily experience gain, which is very good. And it gives us division attack plus 10%. I'll take that. I'll take 10% attack any day. We can modify the... Oh, can we get a cheap advisor? Is there any for... There's one for 75 points. Infrastructure and civilian factory construction speed. I'll hold off because I might want to put other things in there or change some of these. So we'll just hold off and save our political power for now. Excellent. So let's see if we can get this armour in. Where's he gone? Come on, Rommel. Let's do the split off here if we can. We'll push them in. He's... Oh, well... there's It's going to get this guy's retreating in, so it's kind of going to reinforce this bit, but this is going to be over fairly quick anyway, I suspect. There's 5 divisions trapped in the port here at Bilbao, so we're going to... Actually, it's probably going to be 6, because I think this guy will retreat in as well. Right, 7. That's like quite a lot, but they're trapped in there. See those little helmets popping? Those are divisions surrendering. That's excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. We've got some more soldiers here, I see. So let's pop them into the Polish division. What have we got there? That's the rest of our armoured stuff. Okay. Nice. Well done, Rommel. You see the experience bar filling up nicely on these as well. So, what should we try and break through next? What we want to do... Oh, look at this. Look at this. Right, I'm going to railroad in here all the way to Madrid. So our allies have made a fantastic push down here. This is excellent stuff. And these are only light tanks we're using at the moment as well. They are useful at the start of the war, but we want to try and make some medium tanks to kick things off. Germany did have quite an advanced tank industry, or armoured vehicle industry, when it kicked off the war. It had a bit of an advantage in some respects over British and French armour. We're going to try and break through here. Which one's going to go, I think? I think this one's going to go. Can I do this? Why can't I get those two? Oh, they're on railroad movement, that's why. Make sure we take that off. If we can break that, and this is looking like 2 weak divisions, then everything in here is encircled, and then we can just hoover that up at our will. Actually, I just want to make sure that the aircraft are no longer involved, so select them. And this time we are going to make sure that they are supporting our guys down there. They're getting experience, which is good. And we've developed Construction 1, which is excellent. So we are in 36 still. We have the 1936 level aircraft. That's good. We haven't got the heavy fighter. They are useful. They are longer range than the single-seater fighters. We can maybe hold off on that a little bit. This is going to be good, actually. I'm going to go for this. We're going to get mechanical computing, which is going to boost our research speed all over. So, nice. Let me know if you're finding this useful at all, guys. I know those of you who've played forever will know all this stuff. In fact, if I say anything that's wrong, and I probably will, do point out in the comments so that new players picking this up and watching it, and maybe playing along with it as well, can benefit from your experience. Okay, so we've got enough points for another change in command here. So we've got a theorist. We could have a mobile warfare. Oh, well, this would be useful because what we're going to do is we are going to develop mobile warfare. Now, this is like skilling up the army. When you get enough experience, you can buy another level in this, and it gives you all sorts of bonuses to troops, and you can choose and tailor exactly how you want. So that would make it cheaper if we went with him. I don't think we need to worry about that just now. I'm just going to move out just to get the noise down a bit. And what should we do? Silent workhorse, it is good. Just more political power is always good. That's good political power. It's also production cost reduction for the heavy fighters, but we're not running into that one. He's quite good. He's also quite good. Dockyards, fuel silos, and military factories. See, everything's just very useful. It's trying to pick out the ones that you want. And you can always change these later. So I am going to go with this guy, Hjalmar Schacht. He's going to help us build civilian factories, railways, and infrastructure faster. We will do some infrastructure, actually. We've got that going on. But I would like a few levels of infrastructure. There's 2 reasons why you want infrastructure. One is that it boosts the amount of resources in a state. So we're getting extra steel and tungsten and chromium like that. There's a good one. Look, 89 steel. I'll take an extra 8. And it does help with local supply as well. That's a nice little bonus. But we're going to get all this extra steel. Germany will want the extra steel. That's a lot of infrastructure I'm building there, by the way. And there's also benefits to building factories and stuff where you've got high infrastructure. So that's a lot. We can interrupt things and move things around a little bit, but I'm happy for it to do that for a little while. Anyway, we'll see where it gets to. We will probably interrupt it at some point. So, back on pause. I use pause a lot in this game. Let's run in here and let's see if we can gobble up as many of these enemy divisions as possible. Surround them. We've got the army innovations. That's the one that gives Rommel... Oh no, it's available as high command. Okay, so... Right, so I can put him into high command. It doesn't just give him it. Fine. But we do get a cost reduction for land doctrine as well, which is brilliant. Ah, okay. There's a new chief of the army there. I maybe should have waited. This one, this is going to be our treaty with the USSR. And this is going to give us a research bonus ahead of time, i.e. you can research these things earlier than they should be researched for medium tanks. I'm going to get that now, and we're going to get working on that. In the meantime, though, I'm going to go over to the USSR, right-click on them, and improve relations. Then by the time that option comes through, that focus, we should have better relations with them, and they're more likely to accept. They might have accepted more readily if I hadn't got involved in this, because they're supporting the other side. But anyway, that's not my problem. Oh wait, no. I'm going to go in there. There's a lot of divisions I can be involved with the capture here. Also, at the moment, I'm just sending these two guys in together. When you are surrounding someone, it's better to attack them as many different surrounding regions as possible. It allows more of your troops to get in on the fighting all at once. Nice. So running around a bit. I don't need to run around as much as this, but we'll keep this nice and simple.